Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Strange Days, where we look at stories of unsolved and solved murders and disappearances throughout Canada. If you have a case you'd like me to cover, please email me at strangedays0000@outlook.com. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be uploading a new video each week. Thanks, and enjoy. The Unsolved Murder of Leah Sousa. Leah Sousa was born June 7, 1977, and lived with her mother Laura and her 9-month-old brother Michael. The Sousa house was a small house that was located in the 3400th block of Beachview Avenue in Cumberland Beach, Ontario. It is roughly 135 kilometers north of Toronto. Leah was 13 and getting ready to start high school. Leah and her mother Laura, who was 36, had just come back from vacation on the night of September 1st, 1990. Leah was described as having a contagious laugh and a smile that would light up the room. While Leah's mother Laura slept in the bedroom with her baby brother, Leah herself had fallen asleep on the couch in the family's living room. Sometime just after midnight, an intruder had broke into the Sousa house through the back door. The intruder violently attacked Laura and left her clinging to life. The perpetrator then raped 13-year-old Leah. He then dragged Leah outside into her backyard, where he violently beat Leah to death. Leah's 9-month-old baby brother was left unharmed in his crib. Leah's badly beaten body was found the next day by a school friend around 10:30 a.m. on the morning of September 2nd. When police arrived at the house, they were met with a horrific and bloody scene. The investigators were unable to find any DNA at the scene. Police were also unable to find any bloody clothing worn by the murderer or the weapon used to beat Laura and kill Leah. Investigators did find a bloody shoe print in the house that was believed to be a size 9 or 10 Nike all-leather court or tennis shoe. Police also believe the murder weapon to be a metallic object like a tire iron, pipe, or crowbar. Laura survived her injuries and spent weeks in the hospital recovering, but she has been left with permanent injuries from the attack. Laura suffers from memory loss and has partial hearing loss, dizzy spells, and blurred vision. Police believe that Laura may have seen her daughter's killer, but due to her injuries, she has no memory of that night. Laura has worked with police and tried different methods of trying to recover the memories. She has been injected with the truth serum and undergone hypnosis. However, none of these have worked. The events of that night still remain a mystery to Leah's mother and haunt her to this day. Investigators believe that the murderer may have been someone from the area and was familiar with it. Police also think that the murderer may have known that Laura was home alone with her kids on that night, as Laura was a single mother. During the investigation, police interviewed 1,800 people and followed up on all tips that came in. Police also found it odd that given how bloody the crime scene was, the killer left no DNA behind at the scene. Investigators state that the killer would have been covered in blood and would have needed to wash up and change right away. They feel someone in the area knows what happened or may have information regarding the case. Police also say this was a very personal attack. Over the years, the police have continued to follow up on tips and review the evidence. In 2008, a series of billboards were placed along Highway 11 from Barrie to Cumberland Beach as part of a campaign, "Do you know who killed Leah Sousa?" The campaign was hoping to draw in new leads. A tip came in 2008, which led the police to do an extensive search of a wooded area in Cumberland Beach looking for the murder weapon. However, nothing was found. In 2015, Leah's murder gained attention again as it was the 25th anniversary of Leah's passing. The detective on the case at the time was shocked to see how much information had been collected over the years about Leah's case. Police have had a few suspects over the years, the first being Brian Timothy Elson. Brian had been interviewed by police and arrested, but not charged for Leah's murder. Elson's grandmother lived down the street from Leah, and police believe that Brian had been in Cumberland Beach that weekend. Four months after Leah's death, Brian stabbed a 17-year-old named Sandra Bannister to death while at a party. Elson was convicted and spent just 6 years in prison. A retired officer believed that a man named Larry Talbot was possibly responsible for the murder. Talbot had been arrested in 1971 for breaking into the officer's cottage and attacking his fiancée. When a community policing meeting was being held for Leah, Talbot was in attendance. At the time, he was a traveling salesman and a rape kit was found in his car. Talbot died before he was investigated for Leah's murder or any other unsolved murders. Leah's mother, Laura, wrote a book called Poetic Justice: The Search for Leah's Killer. And in the book, she revealed that at the time of Leah's murder, Laura's brother had been staying with them. She also said that at the time her brother was a drug dealer and that maybe the attack was drug-related. On September 23rd of 2012, a user had posted on the Unsolved Canada website stating that while he was a prisoner, a fellow inmate who was the serial killer, Mike Wayne McGray, had gone into great detail about Leah's murder. McGray had told him if he was ever questioned about Leah's murder, he would not deny being guilty. It is unclear whether this lead was ever followed up on. There is still a $50,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible for Leah's murder. To this day, Leah's murder has not been solved. If you have any information on this case, please contact the OPP at 1-800-310-1122 or call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.